Well, embattled New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez says he won't run for re-election, at least not as a Democrat this year.
But that doesn't mean he won't be running to keep his seat. Good Day's Robert Moses joins us now to explain. Robert.
Tashani and Dan, Bob Menendez rose from a tenement in Union City, New Jersey, to become one of the most powerful people in this country. His is truly a rags to riches story, but federal authorities allege that some of those riches are ill-gotten, which could bring his time in the Senate to a close.
I will not file for the Democratic primary this June.
While New Jersey's senior senator Bob Menendez will not run for re-election as a Democrat, in a nearly 10-minute-long video posted online yesterday, he left open the possibility of running as an independent.
I am hopeful that my exoneration will take place this summer and allow me to pursue my candidacy as an independent Democrat in the general election.
That could have huge ramifications in the Senate, which Democrats control by a razor-thin margin. Two Democrats, Congressman Andy Kim and Tammy Murphy, the wife of the governor, are polling far better than Menendez. If Menendez were to run as an independent, he could split the Democratic vote and therefore help elevate the Republican nominee.
Unfortunately, the present accusations I am facing, of which I am innocent and will prove so, will not allow me to have that type of dialogue and debate with political opponents that have already made it the cornerstone of their campaign.
Many Democrats have deserted Menendez, who, along with his wife Nadine and two businessmen, will be tried in May. Menendez and his wife stand accused of accepting bribes in the form of cash, gold bars, and a Mercedes-Benz in exchange for him using his influence as the chair of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee to help Egypt and Qatar. A third businessman recently pleaded guilty and is cooperating with the government in what could be a blow to the other four defendants. In his video announcement, Menendez sounded like a man who feels his political career is over.
It has been an honor of a lifetime to represent you in the United States Senate.
Indeed, support for Menendez has cratered. A recent Monmouth University poll found that 74% of voters in New Jersey disapprove of the job that he is doing as senator. Perhaps not coincidentally, 75% say they believe Menendez is probably guilty of the charges that he's facing.